Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm making wire butterfly wings, which are similar to the dragonfly wings. I'll link up that tutorial. And those were inspired by these beaded reindeer earrings. And I'll link up that tutorial in the description below. We're using 22 gauge gold artistic wire. I have about a 1/2 inch thick piece of corkboard, and I have a little template. I'll link the templates in the description below the video. And I'm just going to use some small straight pins to poke into the pattern and into the corkboard to make a kind of simple jig. This is a fun way to make a jig, so you can do some more precise positioning of the pins to create more intricate designs. So we're just going to push those pins into the points and work our way around so we have them in the strategic spots where we'll be bending the wire. You can use some tweezer nose pliers to push the pins in if it's easier. I'm using some shorter pins, so it's going to be easier to get the wire around them. So just hold the pin with the pliers and push it into the corkboard. So hold it straight and push it down. And we're going to do another one in the center top and push it straight down. So now I'm taking 22 gauge wire, and we are first going to go around the first pin. If it's easier, you can actually make that initial loop with your round nose pliers. You could use a combination of the jig and your pliers. You can also fix the cork to the table with a clamp if it's easier. And then I'm just taking the end of a pen. I've actually removed the ink from this to create my own little gadget. And that way we can get a little curve in the wing of the butterfly. So the pen holds the wire so it makes a little curve. And then we're going to bring the end around the pin to make the loop. So those are the first two bends, and then we're going to pop the pen over to the other side to make the top of the curve of the wing, and then bring the wire around and back. And then move the pen to the upper wing. So you see it makes a nice curve. And then you're going to bring the wire around on the other side and do the same with the other wing. Bring the wire around and then around the middle pin. Keep working your way around the wings of the butterfly, giving the wire a little tug as you go. Curve it around the end of the pen, bring it down, and then around the middle top pin there. Because we need to make a loop at the top. And then we're going to finish the other wing, bring the wire down, and then make a loop in the middle. So we're going to have the ends forming little loops, and then you could remove the pins from the jig. You can reuse this jig for many different patterns, and we want to make sure the middle loops make a nice closed circle there, and then clip it with the flush cutters. Pinch in that pokey end, and then do the same on the other side. Just give it a good little tug to close up that loop, and you can pinch it in a bit with the tweezer nose pliers and give it a little clip with the flush cutters. Remove that end and push in the little pokey ends. And then you can use the flat nose pliers just to straighten it out a little bit. These are the nylon inner jaw flat nose pliers from Beadalon. Very handy tool. We're just straightening out the design a bit, and then we're going to hold that middle loop and then twist the wings, do a little half twist so the loop is perpendicular to the wings. So we just give it a little half turn there. And you can adjust the wings with the round nose pliers. Just bring them in a little bit. And then at the top, we're going to do the same little half turn on both of those inner loops. So hold the loop and give it a half turn, and those little loops will be stacked up in the middle. So now we have another piece of the 22 gauge wire. You can get about 5 or 6 inches, and we're going to put the wire through the bottom loop and then through the bead and then up through the top loop. And then we're going to put the 2 wires together and slide on the head bead. So you want to make sure the hole of the head bead is big enough to fit the 2 wires, and then we're going to twist the wire around above the head and straighten the little antenna wires. Just pull them out to straighten them out. And then we want to make sure they're the same length, so just clip them both the same length at about 1.5 inches. And then we're going to hold the end with the round pliers, and we're going to make a spiral for the antenna. So just hold the end and bring it around, and do the same on the other side. Hold the end and bring the wire around into a spiral. And then we can get the flat pliers. I'm using the nylon inner jaw so I don't scratch the wire, and just slowly working the spiral down to make it a little bit larger. Just hold it and twist. Hold and twist and bring that antenna down. So then we've got the 2 little antennas, and just press them so they're nice and flat. And there you have your butterfly earrings made with the jig. And then now if you want to freeform them without the jig, we can just do it by eye. Make that initial circle as we did before, using the precision round nose pliers. And then with the tweezer nose pliers, we're going to hold that loop and bend the wires down. So that loop is perpendicular to these wires. And then we're going to get the end of a pen and bring those wires out to start forming the wings. So we have them both out the same angle. And if you've already made an earring, you can get it to compare the size to make sure they're the same size. And then using the round nose pliers, again, we're going to make that little loop at the bottom of the wing. And the same on the other side. Just bring the wire around and then use the pen again to form the wings. You might find this method easier than using the jig. Whatever works for you is great. And bend the wire around. And then do the same on the other side. Again, with this pen, I removed the ink so I can just use this cylinder as a tool. Bring the wire out and then make the top wings. And on the other side, curve out that wire and make our little loops. You can make the wings any shape you want. I'm just doing a very basic shape. And bring the wire down, form the loop, and curve the wire down. Adjust it as you need. do your little adjustments all around. And now we just need to make that little perpendicular loop in the center to finish off the ends of the wire. So bring the wire around, check that it's centered, and we'll do the same with the other end of the wire. Just keep checking to make sure it's even. Bring that end of the wire right around to make a closed loop. Then we can clip the ends flush on both sides. Just remove the end and clip the other end. And get the tweezer nose pliers to push in those little pokey ends. Make sure they're even. We're going to stack one on top of the other and then get another about 6 inches of wire, the 22 gauge, put the end through one of the loops. Add the head on both of the wires. And you can hold the end and push the head down a little more to make sure it's really firmly down there, and then split the antenna. Just checking they're the same size. And now what I'm doing is just forming the antennas with the bail making pliers. There's different ways you can make spirals. So now we're going to cut those ends. And just push the ends down so there's no little pokey bits. These are just some simple antennas, and there you have the finished earrings.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook.
You can get the templates in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase 5 or more templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my shop.
So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.